Okay, so today's video is going to be a little bit different because instead of talking about one specific boot and a review on that, I wanted to talk more about a topic. So again, before we get into the video, as always, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But getting into it, it's more so I was having a conversation this week with someone regarding the new Mizuno Innovations Pack that came out. And there was a photo of the Neo Beta 4. So I've got the Beta 3 here, for example. And the comment was sort of made that with this construction of the heel opening area, the comment was, I really like the boot, but I probably wouldn't go for them because I don't think it would provide very good ankle support with this design. So that was sort of the inspiration for this video, and just wanted to talk about something about football boots and ankle support and what is something that you can eliminate and what you should be looking for in football boots instead. So just a quick little game here. So if we've got the Mizuno, a few other boots here, I want you to try and guess which one's got the best ankle support. So we got the Neo Beta 3, a Phantom Vision, a Nike Tiempo, a Puma Future, and lastly, the Superfly. So just quickly, which one do you think's got the best lockdown in terms of ankle support? And the answer is going to be, they're all the same. None of it changes. So this misconceived idea of this boot in particular in 2014, this idea that these mid-cut collar boots provide more ankle support, which then sparked the trend of Puma having one, and Adidas did their Aces and the X lines and everything like that. These mid-cut collar boots, the idea that people got tricked into that having a boot with a higher collar that goes onto your ankle provides better support of your ankle than a traditional boot like this is just incorrect. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit today and sort of explain why that is the case, and also in terms of ankle support, trying to limit injuries, what you should be looking for instead. So with my playing experience myself, my main injuries that I've always had reoccur are my ankles. My left one's been horrible for 15 plus years, and I recently hurt my right one just before Christmas, and I'm still going to the physio once a week to get that right. So I've got plenty of experience of what does and doesn't work when it comes to ankle support. So this is something that I want to talk a little bit about. So this is the main culprit, this started it. But using the previous generation Mercurial, so we've got the Superfly here and the Mercurial. If you put a poll up to the general community, again, the people in the boot industry, this is not a new topic. I'm not the first one to discover this. This is something known if you're into your football boots. But if you ask everyone which one out of these two boots is going to provide better ankle support, everyone's going to say, oh, it must be this one because it goes up onto your ankle. And it doesn't matter. It does not change. If we fold in this Superfly, again, the Superfly being just a piece of material now is a whole nother conversation, but if we fold that down, the construction is the same. If we look inside, the heel liner there, the padding inside, it is the same. Does not change. The construction of the heel does not change. It is literally just this knitted piece of material extending up to the top. And the only benefit I've ever found with this slightly higher collar compared to the Vapor and the Superfly in these days, in these generations, is that it stops a little bit of dirt getting into your shoes. And if you're playing on, the modern AG pitches that have the little black rubber pellets, it assists in that not getting into your boots as much. But again, with these knitted finished collars, not the stitch and turn collars, it does the same job. So aesthetically, if you like this better, great. You can see behind me, I've got plenty of Superflies up there with the extended heel, but this does nothing. This does not help your ankle whatsoever. And another example of that, so just to bring this Phantom Vision up again, this boot came out, had a bunch of new technology through it, and then they put the flimsiest collar you've ever seen. You can actually see it's overstretched with time. Doesn't even hold its shape properly. It's just this loose elastic material. Does nothing. Like literally, if we tuck that in, that's actually the real boot. Here. Nothing to do with that collar. Again, it was just Nike trying to ride this train of everyone loves mid-cut collar boots, and there's this idea that it's better for your ankle, so we'll keep doing this. And again, Puma was guilty of it as well with this high top collar. So it was just something that I wanted to talk about, with this idea that a boot can have better ankle support. And what I want people to focus on instead, again, I've got a row of boots here. I've basically pulled my boot wall apart to have it all here to show you some examples. What you should be looking for instead of this extra piece of material is you should be looking more at the heel and the lockdown. So again, when we're doing these reviews and we're throwing words around like lockdown and, the way the heel fits and the comfort and everything, if you're not aware what that sort of means and why that's something that we do look for, or I do look for in a boot, is because for me, having a good heel and good lockdown, it's not going to make your ankle stronger, but it's going to have some injury prevention, is more so what you can sort of find. So for an example, the Alpha, Mizuno Alpha, with the Zero Glide technology. So all of this black lining material, it's this sticky sandpapery material, and it's got this excellent heel on there that grabs your heel so you're not slipping around. So for an example of a really bad heel, this guy, the old Puma Ultra. The heel is super shallow, super duper shallow. Look at the shaping difference. It's basically straight. So it's something where you want to try and find something that locks your heel in, so when you're moving around, when you're playing, you're not having loose, dead space in the heel here where you're finding that you're moving around in the back of the heel or slipping up and down. So that's something that is a lot more important to focus on for injury prevention, for sliding around in boots that don't fit you right, compared to this little bit of extra material. So some more examples. This Under Armour. So this is the Shadow 2. This is one of those boots that has some fantastic lockdown. And what I mean by that is the material that they've used on the sides here, this exo mesh material and the IntelliKnit material that they've put, hugs your foot, and it gives you the lateral support to move around without needing, or without feeling that you're going to roll through the boot. So like if I've wear like an old pair of leather boots, the Copas, or that traditional boot, they don't have this structure to lock your foot in and to stop you rolling through. So again, for me, I was actually wearing the Flyknit Ultra the other day and slightly rolled my ankle in that, because that boot doesn't provide a lot of lateral support. Super comfortable, and the upper's insane, but that's something that they went super comfortable and pliable instead of something that was locked in and secure. So that's one of those things, like I can still wear it fine, I just need to know my limits a little bit more when I'm playing. I have something else to think about. But when you've got something like this that just locks your foot in, that's another thing. So to stop you sliding around in your boot, that's another thing that makes a big difference with a good heel and good lockdown compared to that bit of material. And some more examples. So with Adidas, they've also done this tradition now where they're putting these little pillows in the heel there to cup that sort of that indentation around your heel. And I find that does, again, it's not going to stop your ankle from rolling, but it's going to help secure the boot onto the back of your heel and make it all move as one. It's what you want. Same thing on their Copa. They do a slightly bigger version of it in there as well. And to bring the Mizuno up, this is an excellent heel. The shaping of it is insane, and you've also got a nice microfiber suede material there. Again, locks your heel in, very comfortable, doesn't let you slide around. And these are the things that I think people need to be looking at a lot more, general consumers, a lot more than these boots that, you know, they got big because of this mid-cut design. Same with the Puma Future. The best thing about this was the NetFit system, and you could customize and personalize how you want it laced up. And that actually provided some really nice lockdown. But this heel does nothing. It's just aesthetic. So you might be saying, okay, Corey, well, what can we do then if none of these boots can provide any ankle support, or none of them matter if I choose the Adidas over the Mizuno? It doesn't matter, the ankle support's the same. What then can I do so I'm not having, you know, as many ankle injuries with rolling my ankle and everything like that? There's three things only. Boots don't matter. Lockdown and heel is one thing with injury prevention, but there's three things. One is a roller strapping tape. Strapping your ankles, going to a physio, learning how to strap them correctly to stop the ankle while it's not strong enough to do itself, to hold it into place. Option one. Second option, one of these insane braces. So I've had probably 10 of these braces in the past. For those of you who haven't seen this before, I'll show you quickly. So Velcros, it's heavy duty. So essentially what you've got here, you've got this foot shape. You throw your foot in there, you tie the brace up around your foot so it's secure, not tight. You don't want this compressing in the laces. And then these big long straps have got Velcro on the ends, and essentially you loop it around like pretty much the way you would strap your foot. This is a substitute so you don't have to burn through strapping tape if you don't want to strap every time. But you loop it around and then up, same with the other one, around and then back up, and then the big one keeps it all neat. So they're chunky. Some people really don't like to play in them, but they do the job if you don't want to be strapping your ankles every single time. And the third option, which all of them can be combined with, is get stronger and go to physio to try and repair your ligaments and muscles that aren't strong enough and is causing you to have these ankle rolls and instability. You need to go work on your balance, strength of your muscles, and your other muscles will compensate for these ligaments that you've possibly damaged. So again, talk to your physio, talk to your surgeons, your doctors, get the right medical advice from your sports doctors, and make yourself stronger again after an injury. But these, way more important than this. So I just wanted to talk about it quickly. It was something that, like I said, it popped up when we were talking about this. And just for the record, there is nothing about this boot that would make it something that someone with bad ankles could not function with. Nothing about it. A fantastic boot, really good heel, really good lockdown. The synthetic material hugs your foot really well with having the super soft kangaroo leather on the front. This is a made in Japan product. Fantastic boot. And there's not one thing about this boot that would stop someone with bad ankles being able to enjoy it. And like I said, these are your options. This does nothing. But yeah, that's sort of wanted to just, I guess, a public service announcement, just trying to get a little bit more education out there for people that haven't worn everything, maybe just aren't aware of what does and doesn't make a boot have good stability, good lockdown, and if anything affects your ankle. But that's all from me today. A little bit of a rant, I guess, but it was more so I just wanted to get it out there of this idea that this little flappy bit of material has anything to do with ankle support. But again, if you've enjoyed the content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.